While I did just get signed as an analyst, Twitter and description for the team, I am not, sadly, in Masters Bangkok. So Americas, for now, only has one team going to playoffs. However, let's break down today how G2 were able to destroy Team Liquid and give America hope that maybe we can win another grand finals. First off, Liquid's comp. They've done 3 different Lotus comps in the past 3 times they've played it. They did that Reyna Clove comp that I never want to hear, see, or speak about again. Then they did a more traditional Yoru comp, kind of like what G2 is doing. Then they switched to this Neon. I have some very choice words about Neon picks in general. If you don't have a Kankang or a Jogamo, I really don't think you want to be running current Neon. And Camo showed some promise, but wasn't the greatest Neon player ever. Also, we need to talk about Nats because this man match MVP'd in a 2-0 loss. None of his other teammates went positive. I mean, I just felt bad for him at this point. Team Liquid, though, they do win the pistol, so let's see how G2 respond on the bonus round. Now, I actually like G2's plan on this round with the exception of having Leaf lurk, but as you'll see later, it is part of the plan, and he plays very passively, just, I'm assuming, trying to make sure there's not any big play where they're trying to fight this space. So G2 just walk up on C, they get the org for Jog, all is well, all is good, Leaf crosses, and then Valen makes the read to go back to A, right? Everything seems fine. But then Alan, he's thinking, right? Valen's reading the defense, but then something in his head, a text, long lost to time. And he reads it out, and quickly, with horror, he realizes what it means. No access to site. Quickly, he tries to call his team back, but to no avail. Nats, he's already gotten 1. He's already killed Jogamo. Now, even more. A second, a third. They all fall to the Russian demon known as Nats. Now, for all of you wondering, yes, I made the bet, and I tried to do more layers. However, this evil dragon appeared and said the only way that I can do more layers is if I get to 100 comments. I tried to reason with him, but then he was talking about how he needed to go find QCK to stop EDG or something, and I couldn't talk to him anymore. So go ahead, 100 comments for another layer of the bet. Now, Valen goes ahead and calls a quick push down B while he tries to ponder this message. What could it mean? What could he do? And then he realizes. It says no access to site. But it doesn't say anything about the sites Nats isn't on. After all, he has 4 teammates who are the equivalent of easy bots in the range. Not one of them went positive the entire series. He realizes, and then quickly calls a hit over to C. Nats isn't on site. It's a free eco round. And again, Jogamo up here with the Stinger, able to get 1. Nats trades it out, but he can't do everything. A 3v4. The plant goes down, and at this point, it's going to be very hard to get G2 off the site. Once you're entrenched in post-plant positions, even on an eco with your Stingers, it's going to be very difficult to get people out of there. Patatech is kind of screwed here. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, it looked bleak for G2. Even after winning that eco round, they have been struggling on Lotus against Team Liquid, and I honestly think this is probably the best comp Liquid have been able to run for them. Right, the first one, again, Clove, Reyna, I have some words, and they're not very kind words, so I'm not going to say them. As we know, Lionzblade is a very kind man. I would never flame anyone. But I think that this comp will work out the best in the long run. But they've lost a lot of Lotus games, 3 straight. They won a single one with a kind of shock comp with Reyna. What I mean by a shock comp is a comp that's kind of like a one and done that you do to like confuse the opponent, make them go, wait, what are they running? And they haven't scrimmed or played against it or practiced. They don't know really what to do. So then that shocks them. And then you move on because it's not a viable comp if anyone knows you would actually run it. So Jogamo here, interestingly enough, they choose to hit B with some extremity control. I don't hate this, right? Because Team Liquid are going for a full buy here instead of, a lot of stingers and stuff. But when Jogamo dies here, they're going to fake the plant. Really, I think they wanted to plant, but they were kind of pushed off. And then they end up going A. As you can see, that salvo just barely going to hit him. And then they realize, wait, we can just go A. There's probably no one there. He taps again and then just books it. Now, this strategy is completely cooked if one person from Liquid anchored A, but there's no reason really to. After all, I mean, they were already planting B twice. Now, optimally, you technically would want someone there, but that's not realistically going to happen because the players want to go help the other players. So I'm not going to blame them at all. However, G2 have a very interesting strategy here, which is 3 people to do off-site spam. Doesn't really seem very this year until you factor in they have Salvos and Viper Molly, right? But again, no access to sight, no access to the round. Nats looks a little whiffy, gets one, gets two, and there's just no reason to expect a third here because it's honestly not a play you're going to see very often in the year of our Lord 2025, right? Offsite spam has been dead for a while. It can work sometimes, but it's not consistent, and G2 are not a team that plays it very often. Leaf mollies the spike. He does get a kill off the molly, which I find funny, but does not win the round. So, and in case you were wondering why I was fine on that third round with Leaf kind of anchoring over here towards A and just sitting here when I normally don't like lurks on ecos, this is why. Liquid are going to, I apologize for the burping, Liquid are going to push out here, and Leaf just wants to make sure that he can relay the info to his team. Hey, they're pushing here, go hit C now. C's weak, they're pushing, go, Power Rangers, right? Leaf dies, but elite job from Jonah P here with a stinger from long range, able to get one. Trent cleans it up. Suddenly you have numbers, and while they didn't go into this site, I would say you feel still very, very good here, right? You have good weapons, you know what your plan is, and then Liquid 1-for-1, and Nats has to scurry away. It's starting to look pretty bad, but Jogma here, he's trying to lurk. He's taking a pretty aggressive timing here onto Kiko. It's not actually a lurk. Excuse me, he's trying to get onto site, but he's alone. So when he fights right here, this is a pivotal fight to gain control of this area. Nats is in spawn. He's just started the round. He's just loaded in, right? So Jog dying here is actually pretty massive because now it's a 2v2. Liquid say, hey, you guys want to plant? We'll make you wait. We'll make you scared. You know, are you going to plant? Are you going to not? Because Liquid right here had the advantage of G2 don't know if they're going to let them plant for free, right? That's why Trent had to use the stun because he doesn't know if Liquid are pushing or not. So now you have nothing for the post plant except for these two TPs. That stun could have been pretty heavy if they knew that you were giving it up. But G2 always been very mechanically gifted. Nats is 10-2, and I truly think this is the only moment where you could say he fell short for his team in the entire game. He was incredible other than this. And I mean, even then, right? He got, I think, 2 kills on the round. It's not like he had a bad round. It was just you get put in that 1v1, it's pretty hard to win. Now, G2 just won a round where Liquid ecoed, so this round is pivotal. Look at all the ults online for G2, right? You have 3 massive ults. And do you know what else is massive? G2's round advantage on defense, which we'll go into in a minute, really baited you there. But Jogamo over here clears the site. Now Leaf going to be able to just get his pit down. Now Patatek's going to try and take a really aggressive timing. I actually don't hate this. When pits are going down, the person is animation locked for about half a second. I think Patatek was maybe half a second late as well. But if he's able to kill Leaf here, the round turns out completely differently. And after this, Nats is the only player that decides he figures he should probably shoot his gun. So 4-4, and Liquid's lead is quickly evaporating. Liquid lose a save round and then call a timeout. So Nats is offsite here because of the Armageddon online for G2. However, C is something that is very interesting to me. I can't really tell what they were trying to do. I think it was just hold, but then Kiko, I guess he just has balls of industry grade titanium because look at this swing. You're swinging into what you assume is several people, right? Salvos going here to force you out that angle. There are probably a lot of people here. I don't know how in the world he walks on and off of stage with balls that are just weighing him down that much. We should probably get him tested, but 5 and 7, clearly those balls don't help him that much. Maybe you should use them to hold the keyboard and the mouse. Both of them, the ball move. Anyways, so then it turns into Camo being able to kind of abuse Neon here. Not even really Neon abuse, to be honest, just gets them nice shots here. 1, stun. 2, yeah, he's not really using Neon. That's kind of why I was saying that, I don't really like it anymore because you need to base the comp around Neon. And don't get me wrong, Breach is very good with Neon, and Teo is decent, but I just don't think that it's too viable, especially with assuming incoming Teo nerfs here. Leaf dies, go moderate your Discord server. Speaking of Discord servers, you should join mine, link in description. I wish Nats was in my Discord server because I would do some unholy things to him after. What in the world are you doing, bro? I think he genuinely has the case as the best Sentinel player of all time over Ye just because of longevity. Like, this guy's been playing since First Strike, and he's still doing stuff like this. And it's not, I just cherry picked a clip. This guy, again, match MVP in a 2-0 loss, and not some close 2-0 loss either. This was bad. On attack, G2 locked in. They read exactly what Liquid wants to do on this pistol around here, and it's exactly this. Just slow walk down and then push one of the extremities. They have Jogama on the Yoru here, trying to make sure it's not on A, and they have Valen who says, hey, it's C. Leaf gets the 2 kills here, and boom, you have numbers, you back off. G2 play very passively, as you should, when you have a numbers advantage. Again, Nats is 16-7. Please, someone help this man. I'm begging you. But G2 will give up a lot of space when they have numbers. And sometimes this can be a bad thing, because if you give people like a free sight, for example, suddenly that 3v4 with them on good post-plant positions, maybe having crossfire or whatever, trap play with some util, is a lot harder for you to navigate. However, G2 are so good at understanding when it's okay to give up the space and the price of space versus life. Every single bit of space in Valorant comes with either the opponent not using utility or the price of using utility. So it's really interesting to see how different teams value that. For example, here, Leaf just puts up his wall here, repositions, puts it down. Well, it goes down because of the Viper nerfs. And then they go over towards C here. I'm honestly surprised Valen didn't anchor here. They're normally very good about recognizing, especially in Lotus, where if you're like A in this section, you get stopped or held up on A, you might go B. Or if you get held up on B in this section, you're probably going to go C. Normally, a lot of teams are very good at that. However, this lurk right here from Kiko, it was almost massive. Those whiffs also massive. But 3v3 here, and again, suddenly you're questioning, was G2 right to give up all that space, to give them pretty much a free plant, right? They're paranoid now, but it's too late to stop anything. But it ends up working out because, again, they can back it up with their gunplay. Leaf, 3K already on the round. He's technically on for the ace, although they're not thinking about that at this point. And then Valen just gets 2 here. Jogama was on the flank just in case. And I mean, just very, very well played by G2. This is the stuff that makes me think that their loss to EDG made them kind of lock in, because they hadn't experienced that before. They were a team who in America's dominated, didn't drop a map until the grand finals. No team had really tested them like EDG did, and EDG dominated them. I think after that experience, there's a case to be made that that could have been a good overall thing for them. So now they are more locked in than ever. Liquid almost end up winning their eco round, and if they had done this, I think that the tide of the game shifts dramatically. Now, don't get me wrong, I still think it's a G2 win. However, it would have gotten a lot closer, and then there are definitely opportunities where, in closer games, maybe G2 makes a slip up, or maybe, something bad happens, then they go to Abyss. Who knows what happens on there, right? G2's Abyss is pretty good, but so is Liquid's. So it really does just come down to sometimes those 1 or 2 pivotal rounds that switch things, because Team Liquid almost only won a single round after that. That's right, 1 here. Q, like the John QT holding up the finger. If I had an editor, I'd put that in. But that's the only round that they got here. And as you can see, Camel just not able to kill him. And you can see the frustration on his face in the little player cam. He knows that that was a big one. Something I want to talk about here on the only round Liquid win is the upcoming nerfs. I might do a video on this after they come out, although I'm not really sure. My videos on like that don't normally do well, but if you would like to see something like that on the patch notes, let me know. Because Neon right here is now effectively useless. You used all of the util to take Rubble, and now if you're running on site, and again, this video is not going to back me up because Jog has a stinger when he tries to take this fight, but I really think that Neon just is not viable unless you have someone that's so good with the utility, not only using the utility, but knowing when to use the utility and not use the utility. I think is honestly possibly even better, right? Because you only have that one slide now. And again, Camo is effectively useless if he just runs out onto site here. You can't dive. He's unprotected. And that just really doesn't sit right with me. Now, you could argue that when a Raze satchels in, Raze is also unprotected, which is true. But I just really feel like it's a lot better for your Raze to be jumping in than your Neon to be running when your Neon can't slide to really throw off the crosshair placement. Again, there are very few players I believe should be playing Neon now. Kang Kang is one of them, and they're running some neon comps on Fracture, which I kind of like. But right here, G2, obviously you're down numbers and you have bad guns. This just is kind of do damage because, again, Nats dies with 0 credits, right? They all 4-step rifles. You're just trying to do damage here. Trent gives them a bit of hope here because he gets the rifle for Leaf down here, but Leaf isn't really able to do too much with it. You can see the call from Liquid is, okay, well, the guy with the rifle is now here. We know this guy is a sheriff. Let's be cautious, be aware, but also this guy is the one with the rifle. He's the real threat. Leaf, nice that he's able to get back online after that EDG game because that was not good. I would really like to see him try and op, though, because his last opping performance was very, very inconsistent. Trent dies here, and it is going to be 8-7 G2 Esports. I hate this call from Liquid, right? They end up saying, okay, we'll fake B and then sneak out over towards I sneak up here. But as soon as this drone gets used, first off, Kamek not getting the kill there is unfortunate, but he's stunned, so I can kind of understand it. Jonah P 1-for-1. But again, you never want to be fighting you very rarely want to be fighting 2 very important battles on 2 separate fronts, right? You want your team to be at least semi-together. It's a reason that Valorant isn't like one person goes C, 2 people go B, 2 people go A, run it down. That's not Valorant anymore, nor was it ever, hopefully. And it ends up just being camo, please save us, right? And again, this is kind of it. This is your best piece of utility, and we're using it to just get slightly faster at this choke. Like, I just don't know, man. Something about that just doesn't sit right with me. I do really like this play, though, to kind of go up there, try and isolate a fight. And as soon as Kiko dies, it's pretty much over. You need a camo masterclass to pull you out of this. And he almost delivers. It is decently close, especially because he has great awareness of Valen probably being on the flank here. He sees 2. He goes over here. He doesn't see anyone. He's like, okay, he's probably flanking, or he's taking a long time and he's wrapping from heaven. Then he realized, wait, they're not actually trying to push me. And then boom, the flank kills Trent. Then this is where I'm saying he has a chance, because the mentality to mid-fight realize, wait, I need to move back. You saw that bullet. He realized, wait, I need to move back because someone could be on the flank. Reloads real quick. And then boom, Leaf not giving him anything until they can peek together, get the kill on camo, and G2 end up winning this game. Thank you very much to my channel members, specifically Atlas and Matui's for the King tier, and then Crunchy Water for the Lion tier. Go ahead, if you can, support me as a member. It helps me out a ton. That's going to be all for today's video. Click on one of these 2 if you liked it, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.